Hello beautiful one, welcome back to my channel, Stars to Spawn Yoga, where we mix astrology and yoga, transform in profound ways. My name is Leah and I will be your guide for today. Okay, so today we're going to explore the last corner of a little triangle. So we had the moon, we had the sun, and now we have the rising sign with the ascendant. So your ascendant is going to be based on the time and the place you were born. So if you don't know that, I'm sorry. It can change in 2 or 3 minutes. It can be different. And so some people are like, oh, I don't know my rising sign, I don't know my time. Can you help me? And I know some astrologers, like veterans, that are able to guess. I'm not, guys, I'm sorry. And I think that people, there is one person in the delivery room that the sole job is to be able to have the right time. Because I also know people that are sure they are a sign, like a rising sign, and I'm like, that's weird. Because 2 minutes before you were a different sign, and I feel it's more like you, but I'm not doing that, guys. I told you that. So just doing it in my mind. But all of that to say, today I want to talk about rising signs and what it means inside of your body, because your rising sign is your body. Your rising sign is the wrapping paper of who you are. There are different takes on astrology about what rising sign means. Some people are like, oh, you become that after your 30s. It's more about the real you and it's who you're rising to be. My take on it is it's who you embody. Like when you came, you were like, that's the mask I want to wear. I want to be seen like that, and that's the body that you became, and that's how you rose into life in this fleshed body. So for sure there are some people that have a better relationship with their flesh, body, and being when they get older. And so I think that's why people are like, oh, that's who you become. But that's the easiest thing to guess. I said 2 seconds ago, I'm not guessing. No, because I don't like that game. I know that people are like, oh, if you're an astrologer, you should be able to guess what sign I am. When I'm like, you're not asking that, you doctor. You're not asking him what blood type am I? Because you studied 10 years, come on. You're not able to say that looking at a person. But I think that's the easiest to see because it's actually in your body. But there is no, you can be rising of every sign that exists, so all the 12 signs. And a rising Pisces is going to be very different from a rising Aries, going to be very different from a rising Taurus, and etc., Gemini and everything. And so I'm not going to have Sirian risings, or not now. I would like to be able to do all the planets before I'm going into signs. Why? Because also every sign has a planet attached to it. So if you're rising Pisces and you're like, oh, I feel like I'm not very comfortable in my skin right now and I would like to be more embodied, then you're gonna go into Neptune series. If you're Leo and you're like, oh, I would like to be more embodied, to be me and not be apologizing for who I am, then you go into the sun, because the sun is the ruler of Leo. So that's why I'm not going to do a special Sirian risings, but I wanted to talk about it and I wanted to know your rising. So if you want to drop it in the comments, I'll be very interested to know, what is your wrapping paper? What flesh did you choose for this life? And who you rose to be? Because it's also how you're going to receive everything and how you're going to be perceived at first. People are going to be like, oh, interesting. And you can have 2 signs, let's take 2 Aries, but one is going to be Cancer rising and the other one is going to be Sagittarius rising. They're not the same person at all. That's why when people are like, oh, all Aries are like this. No, they're not. They're not. Because the Cancer is going to be maybe very, yeah, have that like, I'm going to go first. I am like telling things how they are, blah, blah, blah. But with the Cancer, it comes with like intuitiveness and emotional intelligence, but also sometimes a big armor, because I'm not going to just let anybody in. And the Sagittarius is going to be much more adventurous and like curious about everything, want to learn everything, and maybe less cautious, but also maybe less attuned to feelings of others, until maybe it goes into spirituality, because it's very drawn to that kind of arts. So that's why I'm saying, like, you're not your sun, you're not your moon, you are a full chart, a full like stars. And what I like to do, and that's my little secret, is if you have any like deity that you like, Artemis, Hercules, because he became a god at the end, but who else? Isis, Osiris, they all have asteroids with their names. So what I like to do, and I think that's kind of important, and you have also Shiva, like you have all the kind of spirituality in it, and that's why I like it, because it's very inclusive. When all the big planets are correspondent to more like Greek, Roman astrology, there you can have all of the gods, even if I know that, for example, in India, they have millions of gods, and so maybe they will not be all on it. But I know the most famous one have asteroids with their names, and so you go with any like AI or even Google and you ask the code of the asteroids of Shiva, for example, and the god of yoga, and so you can see where is it in your chart, and is it close to your rising sign. Because when a god or a goddess is close to your rising sign, it means that this energy came kind of with you. It was like, I want to be close to you, so you have, if you're open to it, you can work with that energy. Like, and also if you have it out of bounds, that, my friend, is kind of technical, okay? Not gonna lie. But you can see it. You can see if it's out of bounds. We can have a little chat next time on how and where to go to see if it's out of bounds, but I'm just going to explain what it is first. Out of bounds is when a planet or an asteroid or everything in the middle, comet and everything, is out of the range of the sun, and so it's stronger. It's like on steroids. It's a genius aspect. For example, I think that Einstein had his moon out of bounds, and so there are like people that changed the world most of the time when you have out of bounds. And when you have a lot of them, you can also be misunderstood by people because they don't like you, kind of different. And it's also hard for you to understand, why am I like not processing things as other people are, or seeing things as other people are seeing it. So I would check in my chart if there is like, I'm kind of drawn to Artemis, or I'm kind of drawn to whatever like stories you were told as a kid, like to Apollo or whatever. I will go check their asteroids. Apollo people are going to be like, it's the sun. It can be, but you also have an asteroid with his name. So you can check. And yeah, I like it because in my life I've been able to see, for example, Shiva out of bounds in my chart, and I'm like, that's why yoga is so transformative for me. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be if you don't have that, but I think it's important to see what spiritual energy are walking with you. If you decide to engage with them, that's your choice, but I think it's always important to know. So I gave you my little secret, my little tip. I will stop there. I will see you in the next video. But before you go, beautiful one, if you can like, subscribe, that will help my channel tremendously, and I will be very grateful. And I will see you in the next one. Bisous.